Hey everybody, this is Paige from Mosaic Moments, and I have another design breakdown video for you. Before we get started today, I would love to hear from you if you want me to still continue the design breakdown videos. So let me know in the comments below. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, so that way you can be updated on all upcoming videos that we come out with. Anyway, so let's get started with the design breakdown. So we're going to talk about what is working on this layout. So this layout has our chunky corners. These are the 4x4 size. And of course, they're great for decorating your corner. And we also have this little die cut here. This is from our corner cutout die set. And we have this fun, it's kind of a fun, adventurous page of kayaking, and it should be pretty clear. The photos were also taken in the fall time. And the first thing you may notice about this layout is it's very balanced. This is a symmetrical design. I have the square in the center, and then everything else is spinning, you can say, equally around it. And what I also love is these corners. These corners really make the page pop. What's really nice is there are layering dies for these corners, so I'm able to fit in more photos. And I just really love the colors. So the blue grid paper is our Coolberry from Cool Drinks collection. And then this green and kind of yellow paper is Board Shorts from our summer collection. And so sometimes we like to use the back of the grid paper as our pattern paper. And when you are deciding on colors, sometimes it's handy to see an object. So in this case, I was inspired by the colors on the kayak and use that for your color scheme. So I have this blue and green kayak here. And so you can see how I use those colors. I have the blue background and then this green. There is a little bit of yellow, but I really like this green because it was a very similar green to the kayak. The blue isn't exactly the same, but you still get the idea here. It's this blue and green, and it worked perfectly for a kayak layout. So that's one color idea, is to find an object in your photo that you find appealing and that fits with your theme. I also could have gone a fall direction, but that's what's kind of interesting about this layout is there is a little bit of fall in here. So these photos were used unexpectedly. Usually when I use a photo like this, I usually have like all fall colors on my layout. So this was an unexpected twist. I have this fun, blue, green, yellow color scheme. And originally I was having a hard time figuring out what I was going to put in these spots. But as you can see, there's these trees, and these photos were taken during the kayak trip, and there are these bright orange, and it has some yellow in there as well. Well, orange is a nice complement to blue, obviously, so these photos really stand out, and even though they're not as bright as the green paper, they still were pretty bright. So I felt like it worked. It helps tell the story. It's about kayaking, but it also lets you know very quickly that these photos were taken in the fall. But again, I love these chunky corners. I love how it highlights the photo. So here you can see the water, but then there's two kayakers up here, and it was perfect for a kayaking trip. And here you get a little bit of the kayak, and then there's another kayaker in the sky. And I really like using Mosaic Moments dies because they can crop your photos in a unique way, and they help highlight these little things. Like here, you have this kind of strip area, and it's highlighting this, it's highlighting them. Same thing, kayaker going across here and here as well. It just draws your eye to see photos in a unique shape and helps you pay attention to these subjects you want to highlight a little bit more than if it was just a big square right here. I mean, I have 5 basic shapes, so I always love the basic shapes, but sometimes having something like these chunky corners adds interest and highlights your photos in a unique way. It was also helpful in this layout because I have the bright paper in the corners. It was really helpful to also use that same paper in the center, because keep in mind, you want a focal point on your layout, and this is the focal point. I don't think it would have worked as well to have something like a dark blue matte here or something like that, because I think the corners would have taken away. So if you're using a brighter paper, I would take a look and use it for your focal point as well and see if it works. That doesn't mean I can't use a different color, but I would have to feel like it's something like white, maybe a yellow, something bright or even brighter than this other paper. But I really like how the center ties it in, and it doesn't feel like too much because these corners are on the edges and they have this break from these leafy photos. So it doesn't feel like there's one huge bright area on the layout. It's broken up in a way that's a lot more eye appealing maybe than if I had a bunch of these bright colors right next to each other. So, and that's the other thing that's really appealing about this layout is the way things are broken up on here. And we have a beautiful rhythm on this layout. So there's bright colors, and then there's kind of a more, no bright colors, natural photo. This isn't even matted. And then we have the bright, unmatted, natural photo, bright, unmatted, bright. And we see that go all the way around the layout. And then we have this leaf photo, right? So even in this direction, it's bright, natural, and then bright again. So this has a great rhythm to it, and that's really important on scrapbook pages as well. Rhythm can be done by repeating a pattern, basically. So in music, when you think about rhythm, it's rhythm. There's a certain beat. It repeats certain notes multiple times in a song, and we want the same thing in our art. We want things to repeat. We don't want everything to necessarily be the same, but we kind of get that with having different photos in each spot. And even here, they are the same trees, but there's different spots in the trees. So there's still a lot of variety going on, even though the page is symmetrical and we have the same beat. But that beat or that rhythm keeps things organized really well. All right, I think that's all I have for today. Let me know in the comments if anything sticks out to you. If you liked this layout, let me know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.